and made it a lot easier. And then specifically Mount Shasta, you can have a tiny house on wheels as an ADU. So if you have a single family house, and you can turn your garage into a junior ADU right now, state law. So that's another housing situation for a small family. And you can have a permanent structure, an ADU, mother-in-law suite, same permit, same everything, a permanent structure. But because of fire and fire insurance that's going up, it's just, we modified it, and now tiny houses on wheels is also an ADU unit. So if there was a fire, you can just hitch it and drive off, and then you can come back. Now in Mount Shasta, just recently, they passed the zoning laws with tiny houses on wheels that you can have it in residential 2 and residential 3 zoning, not residential 1. So if you don't know what zoning your house is in, come let us know. We have the zoning map. We can tell you what residential 1 zoning you do have. Yeah.
They're also going to be doing a lot of rezoning in the next year within city limits, so a lot of zoning is going to change.
Yeah, Kim's awesome. Yeah, a lot of zoning. And we just talked to another sister way over there, that one. And she has residential 1 zoning and has developmental disability. Love you. Said it out loud. Yeah.
My question is, I don't know what the below. These are for renting, they're not for owning.
What, the tiny house on wheels?
Yes, so you've got your large house, your granny house, and your student house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are they all are the plan is for them to be rentals or owned?
No, it's all going to end up becoming owning stuff. Even the tiny house on wheels is meant to be on ownership. The whole planning commission and the first and second reading was all, we want your tiny house on wheels to be owned. We want owners. They're actually going to put in a little, what's that fee, that fine when people don't live here? Vacancy tax. So they're in the works of figuring out if you don't live here for 6 months, or if you don't have someone renting inside of there to maintain it, they're going to end up doing something. That's coming along soon. Yeah.
So I think maybe I can help.
Yeah, please.
So let's say there's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath that you own, and then you have the ability, and you're working with the tiny house on wheels or the affordable housing movement, to have aid in helping figure out the first ADU. And then the city of Mount Shasta is laid back enough, from what I understand, to allow, depending on your zoning, a tiny house on wheels to be on your property. So you own the house, you own the mother-in-law suite, potentially. Another private person owns the physical tiny house on wheels, and you would, in this model, you would rent a lot.
They would rent the property from us.
Yeah, you would organize something to where there's a lot fee, or the tiny house on wheel, or not. But that would be between you and them.
So it's just a solution that every house in Mount Shasta could 3x right now the population.
Yeah, so the model's the same, but the way you go about it as the homeowner is up to you.
Yeah, it's up to you. You become the landlord.
And the beauty of this is that Mount Shasta is laid back enough to let us do it.
And it also just became special zoning. What do you call that when you change the zoning? Zoning change, where
where adjacent properties that are next to R2 and R3 are automatically applicable for rezoning by the state, and therefore by Shasta to change R1 lots that are already adjacent to R2, R3 to an R2 or an R3, depending.
So Jennifer just so happens to be in a situation like that we just talked about, that the potential, there's a potential, because she has a residential 1, but she has 3/4 of an acre in the backyard. So her house could be the primary. Her garage could be the caregiver for disability, children or elderly that need some help. The tiny house on wheels, mobile for fire, could be the independence housing of our elderly, caregiving, or our kids that may need caregiving. And since you have 3/4 of an acre in the back and you are residential 1, what Shane just said is that if your neighbor is residential 2 or your other neighbor is residential 3, you can change your zoning and move it, change it into an R2 and an R3. Now immediately you can put up to 9 tiny houses in your backyard.
9 tiny houses
on wheels.
For what?
Per lot.
I think the correct word is per parcel, per lot.
It's on a parcel.
You can fit as many on there
Up to per parcel. But you can't do it in residential 1. But if your neighbor's a residential 2 or 3, you can do special zoning and rezone it. And now you have something for your family, for your kids, for a caregiver, and you can put 1, 2, 3, 4 in your backyard right now.
So just
Please.
to hook on to that, so it's not just residential, right? It's if you are also commercial.
That's actually a good question.
Yeah, C1, C2.
Right.
Okay. And what
So-
about general commercial? Because I think that's the lot behind this is a general commercial.
I'm not sure about that
about
either.
that.
So just to be clear about what
Yeah.
she's saying is that if you have a residential
only
2
R2,
and
R3,
3,
C1,
you can
C2.
rezone yours as a 2 and 3. And if
you're
you have a
R1.
commercial 1 or 2 next to you, you can also rezone yours,
Oh, you're good.
because tiny
You're
house
good.
on
You're
wheels
good.
can be
Yeah.
up to 9, if you want to, in residential 2, 3, commercial 1, and commercial 2. It is a lot, but you don't have to put 9. But there's a lot of people that have a dream of a
They don't wanna
community
function
village. So
and,
if you
like,
bought
start
raw
ripping
land
it
right
apart.
now and it's
But if you
zoned
were
for 2,
already
3, and commercial
able
1,
to
2,
get swooped in,
you
then-
could put
then they can
up to
fast track
9
you. But they
tiny
can
houses
do it
and a community
regardless.
center in the middle. And everyone's
can't.
dream that ever dreamt that for
It's
decades.
kind of a
It's actually
special
real.
time to rezone. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Shed some light on the situation. Yeah.
Let's say I had this acre.
Yeah.
and I wanted
Let us
to
know.
put
I'm gladly help.
I don't have it.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, permanent just means take the wheels off. Non-permanent means leave the wheels
Was
on.
every trailer and every fifth wheel considered tiny home?
No, it has to look like a tiny home.
Because that's where you're gonna run into.
Right.
Like
So-
Justina, they
Right.
have a
And-
lot of trailers.
Yeah. And there's some weird thing about the fire because of that. If you're rebuilding your house, you can.
Right. They
But-
made an exception.
We'll go and deal with them. soon enough.
Theoretically, I think NOAA certification as opposed to REVA would get you around that because it's not a trailered house; it's technically a mobile
Because
premier.
that was what
But
designed
yeah,
to
Mount
store
Shasta,
the trailer in their yard.
Mount Shasta is
Right.
legally
Currently not
worded
Right.
that if you want a tiny house on wheels, they want it a little bit steeper roof for snow load. They want a little bit thicker installation because of snow, and it has to look like a house, and it has to
Yeah.
have the right colors that looks like the
They just
mountain.
changed all
Can't
that
be
stuff.
flamingo pink.
Title
Okay.
24.
So as long as you do that, you should be fine. Shay, come on, your turn.
Good job.
Yeah, what's up, David?